Hey, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be doing a review on these custom Boxeo TM Torres Medina boxing gloves. So stay tuned. Okay guys, so today I have these custom Boxeo TM, the Torres Medina boxing gloves. These are 14-ounce lace-ups in an all black and metallic red color scheme. These are just some beautiful gloves, handmade in Mexico, and probably some of the best Mexican-made gloves I've used to date, for several reasons, which I'll get to obviously in the video. But you can see here, giving you guys a close-up, just the leather itself looks fantastic. The black leather they use on here reminds me of the same leather that they use with Grant's, where it has more of a shine to it. You can see mine's a little dirty because I've been using it for training, so I gotta clean it off a little bit better. But the leather has a beautiful shine to it. Again, very similar to Winning. This one incorporates a triple cuff design. It says equipment, boxing equipment, TM Boxeo, made in Mexico. 14-ounce weight tag at the bottom. You also have metallic red for the bottom cuff, the piping. Welted seams. You do have a split metallic and black thumb. Welted seams throughout. Attached thumb and double stitching with a nice large grip bar, as well as red piping around the thumb as on the palm side, and very nice quality laces. These laces are more of a high-end lace, something like you would find on some really nice basketball shoes, these flat laces. So I really like the fact that they put a little extra attention to detail with the quality of the laces that they put in here, nice and long. And probably one of my favorite things about this particular Mexican glove is the liner that they use in here is this beautiful, really soft, silky, almost like feeling, almost reminds me of rayon, that material rayon. So when you slide your hand in these gloves, they're unlike any other Mexican glove I've tried where it has a little bit more of a rough kind of feel to it. These feel super silky and smooth when you slide your hand in there. You can see it has, I'd say, about an inch of support on the inside wrist, as well as on the back of the wrist. And again, you can just see beautiful construction. Both look very symmetrical to each other, size-wise. Nice parallel thumbs. Just beautiful gloves. Show you the edges where the welted seams are at, and the back of the gloves on both gloves again. So let's go ahead and put these on the scale, see how much these weigh. Being 14-ounce gloves, typically Mexican gloves historically have always been a little heavier than their counterparts, but we'll go ahead and see if that's true for these. Let me go ahead and zero it out again, make sure it's on point with the weight. And these gloves are right at 14.5. It's only a ½ ounce over for the right glove, and the left glove is right at 14.5. Pretty much exactly the same weight as each other, and about a ½ ounce overweight, so that's not bad at all. But excellent weight, excellent quality for these gloves. Let's go ahead and do the review. Hey, what's up guys? Carlo here, and today I'm going to be doing a review on these Boxeo TM Torres Medina boxing gloves. Got mine in 14-ounce lace-ups with the black and metallic red color scheme. Now, I did a review on some previous Boxeo TMs I had a while back. They were a red with white, and they were 12-ounce lace-ups. I was really impressed with those gloves. The only thing I probably would say was an opportunity with those particular gloves was the leather was really wrinkly, especially around the knuckle area. So you can see that it had a little bit of kind of a cracking kind of look to it. So over time, just the wear and tear of it, I felt like the leather probably wasn't the best quality. Great leather, just not the best. So I was really interested in trying these ones out. And I actually got these directly through Torres Medina, and they're located down in Mexico. So this is all 100% handmade in Mexico, and probably one of the best Mexican-made gloves. I'd say right up there in my top 2 to 3 I've used ever. This particular pair that I got, I was really impressed when I pulled these out of the box and started using them. And there's a couple of little details that they improved, in my opinion, over their previous gloves, but over just general Mexican gloves in general. I mean, typically when you think of Mexican gloves, they're very durable, very rugged. Typically comfort is not really the big thing with Mexican style gloves. It's more about like durability and just really breaking the glove in. It's like a really like thick piece of beef jerky. If that's kind of really hard to, that's kind of how I like use that analogy with Mexican gloves. You know, you're getting a really rugged feeling glove. So it's really nice to see in this particular glove that there's a lot of creature comforts that they built into it. So design wise, one great thing about this is being a 14-ounce glove, they're not like Grant where they're overly huge. If you get a pair of 16, 14-ounce Grants, you'll know that they're just gigantic gloves. From what I've seen, like 12-ounce Grants are usually about equivalent to the size of like a 16-ounce Salvas Pro Series glove, just to show you the equivalence in size and just how the hand compartment feels. But this is a very clean looking glove, all black. You do have the welted seams. The only thing you have here is going to be the TM Boxeo cloth patch on the back. You do have a triple cuff for the back of the wrist, which is about, I'd say, 3/4 inch of padding, welted seams on the side as well as on the hinge point. You can see that the leather looks really nice, has a very nice gloss shine to it, very similar to the shine I've seen on black leather on Grant boxing gloves. Now you can see it's a little dirty here because I've been using them, but just to show you kind of the clean area, it looks really good right there. Rotating, you can see it does have a split thumb. The metallic on here is really nice and shiny. You have the welted seams that reinforce between the thumb and the index finger, as well as a leather attached thumb. You also have the metallic that runs down the thumb piping, as well as the inside piping that loops down to the bottom of the cuff. Nice long laces. I do like these flat laces that they use. It's this black and red. It feels like laces that you would get like on a nice pair of basketball shoes. So I like that they didn't skimp out. You know, the little details really does help out with the presentation and just the overall quality of the glove. Again, you do have about, I'd say, 3/4 to almost an inch of padding on the inside wrist. That's kind of a signature thing you find with a lot of Mexican gloves where they put a lot of emphasis on wrist support. So you have this all the way to where it tapers up into this double stitching, and on this side where it tapers up into right about here. Nice large firm grip bar, doesn't feel like it collapses. Double stitching, welted seam right there on the fingertip compartment which wraps down. And then probably one of my favorite things about this glove is this really smooth, silky rayon type liner. Kind of really unlike any I felt, especially in a Mexican style glove. You usually get like a kind of a canvasy kind of liner, or it's kind of rough feeling, and you can really feel the bumps inside the latex foam. With this, it's really nice and smooth, which I was really surprised with. So you can see that right there. Quality wise, these are top notch. Probably some of the best I've seen from a glove, period. The leather is excellent, has a nice shine to it. The stitching is done perfectly. There's no stitching coming apart. The welted seams look really clean. The colors are nice and vibrant, especially with this red metallic. The stitching looks great on the grip bar right there. You can see the stitching around the palm, as well as right here down the piping, all the way down to the cuff. Looks really clean. Inside liner's not torn. You can see they do a really nice job of reinforcing the inside liner. The triple cuff is really good. The seam right there looks great. Has excellent balance. You can see I'm just grabbing the end of the cuff right here, and it's a very well distributed glove weight-wise. You know, it's not too top heavy or bottom heavy, and a lot has to do with this wrist support. So it almost acts like a brace for your arm, or should I say your forearm. So the quality on these are fantastic. I mean, you know, I've seen some Mexican-made gloves that definitely weren't the best. I have a pair of Nicali gloves that are blue lace-ups, and you know, some of the stitching on there is not the best. And then I did a pair of Hernandez Champs gloves a while back, and those are really bad. So I mean, it can be hit and miss. I mean, typically it's a hit, but sometimes there are misses with some Mexican brands. But you can see here, I mean, this looks fantastic. So the quality is definitely top notch. Now comfort is great as well. And again, I know like that's kind of the sentiment for a lot of people with Mexican gloves is, you know, the thumb feels awkward, my thumb kind of sticks out, or the hand pocket's too wide, and it just feels weird. This is actually excellent. I mean, it's a 14-ounce glove, so you do have a little bit of room width-wise in the hand compartment. It's not huge by any means, but it's definitely a little on the roomy side, but it's definitely nice and comfortable. So when you lock your wrist in, this wrist support acts like a splint on both the back and the front of your forearm. Thumb is excellent, nice and parallel, long enough to give you a nice amount of room, especially with your hand wraps on. So I definitely like that. Nice parallel thumb. Hand compartment is really great too. You can really dig in with your fingers and roll over to make an excellent fist. And they cover the stitching up. So another kind of pet peeve you'll find with some gloves is when they leave that stitching right there on the finger where it meets the seam, where they leave it right open so you can really just feel that on your finger. With that, you can feel they kind of rolled it over the liner and kind of covered it up. But you can get a nice, excellent deep fist. I'd say, from a scale from 1 to 5, 5 being the most broken in, 1 being stiff as a board, I'd say these are right at 4 in terms of being broken in. So they're not, the most absolutely soft gloves in the world, but they are pretty soft. So, I'd say a session with these on the bag and you'll have a pretty well broken in glove. Grip bar's in perfect position, so definitely comfortable, especially when you have your hand wraps on. If you want a more snug fit, you can also go with a different size as well. The great thing about TM Boxeo is it's completely custom. They don't really make, stock gloves unless they're making it for like a third party seller like 95 or Athletic Club or some of the smaller boutique shops that sell their gear. They might get like 5 of one color scheme and 5 of another and sell out with those, and you might not see that same color scheme again unless somebody else gets it custom made. So the great thing about this particular brand is you often will just get pretty much a one-off deal. They make these gloves as you order them. So, there is a wait time when you do order these gloves, but you kind of get what you paid for. You're not getting some just run-of-the-mill stuffed in the bag Everlast glove. You're getting something that's custom built. So that's a great thing about that. But comfort is excellent. I've really liked the ergonomics of the hand, and it's great. Quality is great as well. Protection and performance. One big difference between these and some other gloves as well, at least Mexican style gloves, is the kind of foam they use. Typically, you've always seen like a latex foam or of different thicknesses. You also have horsehair combination with latex. With this glove, they use a different type of polyurethane type foam that they use in here. So it has more of a medium to soft density feel to it, but it does an excellent job of really absorbing the shock but giving a nice puncher's feel. So I would say very similar to Grant in the respect that you can feel the shock. You're landing on those 2 front knuckles, but you have a good amount of protection. So it's not like a really cheap soft latex to where when you land and your knuckles go through and you just feel that pain on your knuckles. With this, you get a good pop, but it does a pretty good job of protecting your hands. Now, if you're looking for just an all-out bag glove where you want the most shock absorption and it absorbs every shot, these definitely are not that. You still feel the shot with these, don't get me wrong, but I like that they really balance the type of padding that they use in this rather than just kind of going with a cheaper or soft latex that breaks down and your knuckles kind of punch through. So definitely like the protection and the performance of these gloves. Now cost-wise, there's a lot of variables in that. Generally speaking, they start at about $120 plus shipping, just depending on where you live. And then it kind of goes on up all the way up to like 200-ish. Obviously, if you're going with solid colors, if you're going with metallic, if you're using, crocodile or alligator skin or snake skin, there's all kinds of different fabrics and materials you can use to really give yourself a custom looking glove. So that's really up to you. But the base price is $120. So if you can kind of go with like some base colors, a black and a red, non-metallic, that's probably what you're gonna end up paying is $120 plus shipping, which is a killer deal. I mean, for a glove of this quality, excellent leather, great build quality, that's really hard to beat price-wise. I mean, consider there's Everlast gloves that are like $140 and they're not even close to being as nice as these. So all things considered, I think that's a really great deal. So if you guys have any questions or comments, as usual, put them down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.